What's up, guys? Game Fifi of all games here, and yet it's Saturday, and once again it's time for another Drama Scripted Saturday. And if my information seems kind of out of order or doesn't seem right, it's because I'm recording this on Thursday, because I'm going to be extremely busy on Friday and I'm going to be dead on Saturday. So the only way I could give you this week's Drama Scripted Saturday if I taped it on Thursday. So this is going to be my predictions on what's going to happen at SurViVor Series on the matches that was listed since November 21st. And so far, let's go over the first match they have here. It's the pre-show or the kickoff match. Kofi Kingston versus The Miz. And as we saw on Country Raw, The Miz turned heel, which is good, because Miz sucks as a face. He's one of those people that should never turn heel, but I'll leave that conversation for next week's episode. Wrestlers that should always be heel and wrestlers that should always feel face. I'll leave that for next week's Drama Script Saturday. But Kofi Kingston versus The Miz in the SurViVor Series kickoff match. I'm going to say The Miz wins because Kofi Kingston sucks. There you go. He's this generation's Shelton Benjamin. Basically, yeah, he's not getting out of mid-card. He's been there for like 5 years now. All he can come up with is new gimmicks. We could fly, but not put him to use in any of his mic skills. He doesn't even get any mic time to even show any of his mic skills. So all he is a good athlete, pretty much. Oh, and he could fly. But yeah, I see The Miz winning this match. So, yeah. Intercontinental Championship match, Big E Langston versus Curtis Axel. Curtis Axel doesn't have the belt. He doesn't have Paul Heyman anymore. He doesn't have Ryback. Therefore, Curtis Axel loses. Big E Langston wins because he's new and they're pushing him now. And he's relatively new, good talent. And he does have charisma, he does have a character. If WWE lets him be himself and doesn't throw this whole new script bullshit that they're doing now and on the storylines. If you pay attention to the errors, go back to a New Generation era, which, you know, when Shawn Michaels first came into the business with Diesel and the whole feuds between Intercon. Go back to that era and look at the storytelling then and look at the storytelling now. You can't compare it. Obviously, a new generation of WWE storytelling and creative was better than it now. It's too scripted. Like, we know it's scripted, but it's getting to the point where it's too scripted. Like, there's very little ab lift anymore. Moving on to the first clusterfuck match of the night, and excuse my language, but yeah. Basically, Natalya, the Bellas, and the Funkadactyls, JoJo, and Eve Marie versus all the heels, divas, which is AJ Lee, Tima, Caitlyn. Why is Tima and Caitlyn on the same? Did something happen? When did Caitlyn turn heel? Rosa Mendes, Summer Rae, Escana, and Alicia Fox. When did Caitlyn turn heel? All yeah, when did Caitlyn turn heel? That doesn't make any sense. But anyway, I see the faces winning this match. Moving on. On to well, I don't know if they're still going to be tag team champions because the tag team championship got defended Tuesday night. So, but here it's listed tag team champions Cody Rhodes and Goldust and the Usos versus Rey Mysterio, who came back on Monday, The Shield, and the Real Americans in the traditional SurViVor Series tag elimination match. The faces are going to win because Rey Mysterio just came back. And to have him come back and lose, I don't know, when have you ever seen a superstar come back from injury and lose their first major match? If the answer is either going to be 1 or 0. So I'm going to say the match ends with Rey Mysterio winning, or the match ends with Goldust winning. Either one or the other. CM Punk and Daniel Bryan versus 2/3 of the Wyatt family. Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. I'm just gonna say CM Punk and Daniel Bryan win. Cause that would be a huge push for Eric Rowan and Luke Harper if they would have beat CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. But not to be honest, if WWE Creative wants the Wyatts to win a big match, this would be it, because there's one more pay-per-view, which is TLC, and then there's the Royal Rumble. So if you wanted to kill any momentum for Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, now is the time to do it, because then you have 8 weeks to build them both back up for the Royal Rumble, which we all know it's either Daniel Bryan winning or CM Punk winning. I cannot see WWE Creative giving the Royal Rumble title victory to anybody else but those two. I'm going to say Daniel Bryan's going to win, because it's going to fit his storyline that they've thrown him in the past 6 months. So I'm going to say Daniel Bryan's going to win the Royal Rumble. But CM Punk would be the second best choice. I cannot, and Creative usually gets it right at WrestleMania time. I cannot see Creative having anybody else win the Royal Rumble besides CM Punk or Daniel Bryan. So I'm going to say Daniel Bryan's going to win the Royal Rumble. But back to this, I'm going to have to go with CM Punk and Daniel Bryan winning the tag match. A lot of tag matches, but it is Survivor Series. But there's only one Survivor Series elimination style match. Interesting. World Heavyweight Championship match, John Cena versus Alberto Del Rio. Yeah, spoiler alert, John Cena wins. And that's not even me saying a spoiler alert. John Cena is probably going to win. And then they're going to find somebody else for John Cena to go against for the war. Actually, there is nobody. So John Cena might actually lose. I don't know. The way how WWE is too afraid to push the mid card, there's really nobody else to go for this title. So if you have John Cena lose, you could give the old, okay, now John Cena gets a rematch, and it sets you up to do something for TLC. If Creative wanted to be lazy. If Creative wanted to actually put work in this, they would have to have John Cena win, and then they would have to find somebody for John Cena to go against. I don't know. It's a toss of what Creative wants to do. There's another match that could go both ways, but I'm just gonna say John Cena wins, just because sadly it's John Cena. It's not John Cena. Isn't the way they build John Cena? His matches aren't 50-50. It's like 85-15. You know, there's an 85% chance, even though it's scripted, but the way they book John Cena as Superman, to 85% that John Cena is gonna win. I mean, we were all surprised when Daniel Bryan won at SummerSlam, but we was all probably going to be like, well, Cena's going to win. But Cena didn't win. But when it comes to a match like this, Alberto Del Rio, who's already he doesn't really need a win over John Cena, but it doesn't really ever hurt to have a win over John Cena. So I'm just probably going to chalk it up as Cena wins. WWE Championship, Randy Orton versus the Big Show. Randy Orton wins because Triple H does some BS to screw Big Show out the title, and the Triple H and Big Show feud start. Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. So, pretty much, those are my predictions on what's going to happen at this year's Survivor Series. Feel free to leave your predictions in the comment section below. And if you have any questions you want to ask me, all my information is in the description box below. And I'm Game FIFA Games, guys, and I'm signing out. Until next week. Later, guys. Peace.